Next week, we'll be crowning a state champion for Class B baseball at Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo, which is always a thrilling moment. But there's also something unbelievably special about punching your ticket to state. That's what we're talking about on this edition of North Dakota Diamond Highlights. I'm Jody Norstedt for Midco Sports Network. We had great storylines surrounding Region Championship Week across the state. Two-time defending state champ Park River-Fordville-Lincoln went from a perfect season to being 3 outs away from elimination. Rivals Thompson and HILLSBORO-Central Valley squared off for a ticket to Fargo. Region 8 came down to BEULAH and Shiloh Christian again. And how about two teams scoring a combined 33 runs in a region championship game decided by 1 run? That was the case in Region 3. But we start with Region 1, the first ticket punched all the way back on Monday. We previewed how competitive this set of teams has been all year, and when the dust settled, it was top seed Enderlin-Maple Valley and third seeded Lemoore-Litchfield-Marion left standing in the best-of-3 championship series. Enderlin-Maple Valley took Game 1 10-3, so they needed to win just 1 of 2 against LLM to celebrate back-to-back region titles on their home field, but the Lobos have other plans. In the top of the first with runners at second and third, Jace Johnson comes through with a 2-run single. LLM grabs the first lead. Bottom of the first now. We're tied at 2s when Corbin Potts pushes the RBI single out to left field. The next batter steps in, delivers with a bloop single the other way. 2 runs come scampering home, and it's a couple of RBIs for Garrett Finger. To the bottom of the second now. Falcons leading 5-4. Chance By hitting .522 on the year, just misses a home run. Jacob Johnson wheels around the base paths, and it's 6-4 home team. Still in the second inning, the Falcons leaving, no doubt. 1 on with Finger at the plate again, and the number 9 batter goes yard over the tallest wall at the field. Go ahead and call it a Finger dinger. The Falcons end it early with a 14-4 win in 6. They're heading back to state for the second straight year.
I didn't think it was out at first. I come around first, and my coach is like, dude, you just hit one out. And I was like in shock. I couldn't believe it. So it was just awesome.
Feel pretty good about it. We kind of a surprise for us getting there last year. We didn't represent Region 1 real well, and we were hoping to get back and try to improve on what we did last year. So yeah, we're very happy to be back.
We all had a lot of confidence coming in, and we played tough yesterday, and we played from behind right away. And today was the same type of deal. We were down early, and we didn't give up, and we knew we could come back and win the game.
To Region 2, Thompson has played in the state title game each of the last 3 seasons. The Tommies hoping to only play 1 game for the region final against rival HILLSBORO-Central Valley in Mayville on Thursday. The guys in green set the tone early. Caden Schwabe sends a double to the fence. Schwabe is heading to Des Moines Area Community College next year. A couple batters later, Clay Odenbach, who's hitting the ball as good as anyone in the state, drives in a pair with the single. Odenbach's batting average is over .500 for the year. Thompson led 5-0 after 1. They add to their lead in the third. Joshua Sem just out of the reach of the Burros shortstop. Hayden Overby scores easily to push the lead to 7-0. Marcus Hughes was great on the mound, and he also went 2 for 3 at the plate. This is a 2-run single. The Tommies take care of business 10-0. They outscored opponents 29-1 in the region tournament.
It's awesome. It's definitely a tribute to all of our hard work that we put in, both year in and year out. This year's been a little more dysfunctional than others, but we found a way to play together, and now we're playing our best baseball at the end of the year.
The kids set goals at the beginning of the season, and they wanted to get back to that state tournament and an opportunity, and they did. And it was a little bit of a difficult spring in terms of weather and scheduling and things, but they hung in there, and they got back, and one of their goals checked off.
At this point, it's just the year is winding down, and it's just hard to put into words. I don't think we're truly as grateful as we should be that we get these opportunities, but it's fun. It's fun every year, so we're really excited about it.
The Region 4 championship ended up being a doozy. After suffering its first loss of the year to Langdon Edmore Munich in the semis, Park River-Fordville-Lincoln had to beat the Cardinals twice to get back to state and defend their crown. The A's hit a solo homer in the first, but in the top of the second, Jesse Fetch blisters a 3-run bomb for Carrington, and it's 4-1 in favor of the 3 seed. Fast forward to the bottom of the 7th, Langdon Edmore Munich up 4-2 and just 3 outs away from a trip to state, but Nick Thompson beats the lefty shift and singles through the infield to bring in Nate Zavalny, trimming the lead to 1. The two-time defending state champs not going down without a fight. Later in the frame, same score, bases juice. Sam Hagen draws the walk to tie the game at 4s. Next batter, Jace Fontaine can win it with a base hit. Forget that, Yahtzee, a walk-off grand slam for the Aggies. Fontaine's cheeks had to be sore from smiling around the bases. Park River Fortville Lincoln wins it 8-4, but remember, that just forces a second and decisive championship game. So after a brief break, they're back at it again. Langdon Edmore Munich takes an early lead again. Jackson Delville with the squeeze play, and Ethan Sampson flies home. The Cardinals go up 2-0 in the second inning. Aggie coach Brett Omdahl goes out to chat with the guys. They'd settle in from there. Bottom 5, Aggies trailing 2-1. Adam Zavalny smacks an extra base hit to the opposite field. Thompson scores to tie the game at 2s. Later in the frame, Bryce Wood with the excuse me swing hits into the fielder's choice, but that's good enough to bring in Zavalny for the go-ahead run at 3-2. Then in the 6th, Caleb Hodney adds some insurance. He puts one down the line and left. Jackson Nelson scores. The Aggies will get their chance at a state title three-peat after claiming the Region 4 crown with a 6-2 win.
Well, actually, the message was the same as it had been the previous 2 years. Come prepared. We're playing 2 baseball games.
First of all, Sam Hagen got on base, really clutch of him. I got down 1-2, kind of nervous, but got a high fastball, just kind of took advantage of it, put it over.
We knew this is do or die time. This is the whole season on the line, so we just had to get really hyped up, everyone get really loud, and we knew that we had to have faith in our teammates, and I had faith in all our hitters, all our teammates, and I knew that we could do it. But it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew we could do it, and I had confidence in all of us, and we all had confidence. Even though it was a really high pressure situation, we knew we could handle it.
Over to Region 6 in Minot. Surrey knocked out top seeded Velva to reach the championship versus Bishop Ryan. Top of the first, Mustangs junior rider Holeen showing some power on the RBI double. Surrey led 2-0 after 1, but Bishop Ryan has the answer in the bottom half of the inning. Boy, a lot of these championship caliber teams don't waste time, do they? Kersey Harris drives it the other way for extra bases. That brings a run home. Later in the inning, Kelvin Watkins drives in the tying run by slapping a single to left. Watkins and Harris combined to go 5 for 5 with 4 RBI, while Nick Sanders pitched a complete game in a 9-3 victory. Bishop Ryan is state-bound for the second time in 3 years. To Region 8, top-seeded BEULAH needed to beat Shiloh Christian twice after losing 13-3 in the semis. Shiloh up 3 after 1, but here come the Miners in the second. Aaron Ripplinger hits this one on the screws, cutting the lead to 3-1. They get another run here when Mason Waller drives it to nearly the exact same spot, maybe a couple of feet farther. Corey Rube touches home, making it a 1-run game. But in the next inning, the Skyhawks add to their lead. Josh Colling grounds it to the shortstop. The Miners try to turn 2, but the throw to first is off the mark. That brings home Cole Ballmiller for a 4-2 Skyhawks lead. BEULAH tied it in the 6th, but Shiloh plays 3 in the home half to win it 7-4. The Skyhawks are heading to state. As for the region championships that we weren't able to get highlights from, after finishing 3rd at state last year, Carrington is back in the Elite 8. The Cardinals lost to New Rockford Cheyenne 19-9 in the first championship game, but got redemption in the if necessary game, winning an epic battle 17-16 in 11 innings. The game lasted 3.5 hours, but the Cardinals are state-bound for the 5th consecutive year. Norstedt topped Rugby for the Region 5 ticket with a 4-0 win. The Bearcats take an 8-game win streak into state. Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood, Glenburn knocked off Des Lacs Burlington in a pair of championship games to earn the Region 7 crown. The Muskrats are back at state for the second time in 3 seasons. The opening round gets underway Thursday at Newman Outdoor Field. It'll be 2-seed Thompson against Northstar at 10 o'clock, followed by 3rd-seeded Enderlin-Maple Valley against Mulhall LS Glenburn. Then it's the 2-time defending state champs from Park River Fortville Lincoln taking on Bishop Ryan out of Region 6. Shiloh Christian and Carrington close out day 1 in the final quarterfinal. We'll have a preview of the tournament next week. Until then, thanks for watching Midco Sports Network's North Dakota Diamond Highlights.